really entertaining conversations. I'm your host, Guru Brando, and I have my lovely wife and co-host,
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Okay, I usually make you do the whole spiel, but tonight we're in a hurry because I got all janked up. Conveniently, tonight's episode is I wanted to talk about failure and what we learned from it. So awesome that the universe provided that, right? Because technically, our going on at 6 o'clock was a failure because
Technical difficulties.
we didn't have audio, and so whenever we disconnected and reconnected, it wouldn't do what it needed to do. Anyway, so we were having technical issues, and now we're not, and now we're live, and everything's fine, and the world didn't fall apart without my entertainment. What? It's a little bit sad though, but I have to say, we're only 12 minutes from the mark. So, yeah, thank you, because we used to do much, much worse. You are so pretty on camera. You're pretty in real life, but look at you there. I mean, hello, hot stuff. You're cute. And it's date night, so you know it's fantastic. And we are dating the universe right now. That's what I like to call it. I am that desirable that the universe deems me worthy of still being here in its presence, right?
Yes.
So I think that's kind of cool if you think of it that way, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes you feel like you're important, but humble because you know that you're just simply one part of the universe, and the universe does not revolve around you. So something else I wanted to talk about is being faithful to yourself. Is that a weird concept? Because this is
no, so
deep,
many people
meaning
aren't.
conversations, huh?
So many people aren't, and for a long time I wasn't.
So you got to tell me what that means. And hey, somebody, make sure you comment. You know, I mean, if you can't comment, then let us know. Do we have audio, Carol? Do we have audio and everything? I mean, it looks like we do, but I just want to confirm because now I'm being paranoid. I said, do we audio instead of do we have audio?
Well, before our markers weren't moving, but now they are, so.
Okay, well, hopefully we do. But being faithful to yourself, what exactly in your mind is that? Exactly.
I think it's, what is it,
Don't vape. Do not vape. Oh, see, like my shirt.
not like, I mean, gosh, how can I say this without sounding stupid?
It's going to sound stupid anyway, and I don't care because it might sound great to somebody else, right? I'm just going to make fun of you. No, I'm teasing. I don't judge, babes.
Well, I mean, I would say like it's maybe going against, social grains to do what your heart calls you to do.
Oh, well, just say that last part. You don't even have to say the first negative part. You're saying it's doing what you want to do, right? It's what you want to do. It's who you are. It's being true to yourself, being genuine, right? So as long as you're being genuine, you're being faithful to yourself, you're not a sellout.
Yes.
Okay, so what would that look like for you? How are you a sellout? Because we're human, so every single day we sell out. Because if we didn't, we would be divine beings.
Okay, well, give me an example of selling out.
Well, that's for you to decide. That's what I'm saying. So for your example, for you, would be what? You would be selling out if you did what? If you were not being true to yourself, you'd be a sellout.
Yeah.
If you quit taking estrogen and you started transitioning, you'd be a sellout.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Is that not what you're trying to say? That's not what you mean? Because you have to be true to yourself in order.
There's people that detransition and, maybe they weren't, You know.
I'm not talking about other people. I'm just talking about you.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Just you, because you consider
if I
your genuine self to be a trans woman.
yeah, if I detransition, then yeah, I would be
So
a total
yeah,
sellout.
okay. So if you consider yourself to be a trans woman, then if you detransitioned, you would be a sellout. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you know when you're being a sellout then? Because it's simply doing the opposite of what you really want to do.
Yeah, you can feel it in your heart.
Oh yeah, you totally know when you're being a sellout, right? Yeah, me too. I don't like it. I'm being a sellout when I wear pants. Nothing? You're not even gonna say nothing?
Well,
That was like a big joke.
I was gonna say, how's
I'm
that
a
being a
sellout when I wear pants.
Is that because you're
Because
like
I'm going against my true nature of
your
being
true nature
pantsless.
is to be a nudist?
Yes, it is. And because my true nature is in the buff, every time I wear pants, I am going against my core beliefs. So I am not being faithful to myself until I take off my pants. So faith in yourself is what, though? For me, faith in myself means I believe that I will achieve whatever my potential is. So I am faithful that the universe will unfold in front of me.
Yeah, but with
I
that,
hold
with
that faith.
with your efforts.
Yeah, but I hold the faith that the universe will unfold in front of me because I know I make the effort. I don't need to say that I make the effort. I know that I do.
Yeah.
So I simply know the universe will unfold in front of me. It sounds arrogant when I say it, but it's not. It means that I work very hard to make sure that I'm a kind human being, that I'm accepting, that I'm loving, and that I'm challenged. Just like earlier, I was challenged by this technology. It was on the fritz. It was giving me the issues. And so I had to learn from the failure, right? So if that never had happened, I wouldn't know that I could just very quickly recreate it and get back online in 12 minutes. And really, that's, half an intervention. Oh, Lord. That is half. And there we go. So Carol's logging in. That is halfway. So that would be the, it's hard for me to say, I'm struggling to say it, intermission. So that's, yeah. Okay. Now, moving on. Being faithful to myself, I am wearing half pants and challenged.
Pajama pants.
Yes. So I took off my breeches and I put on my pants. So, yay, okay. And I just said breeches right as she's logged on. All right, well, it is what it is. She's about to hear it all the time because Miss Carol is finally on her way. And so it's going to be a whole new dynamic. It's going to be probably everyone's saving grace for a little while since I'm challenged with my clothes right now. I just don't want to wear breeches. I just want to wear pajama pants.
Get a kilt.
It's almost, I am not getting a kilt. It's almost spring though, and then I will be so happy and I'll be out of the cave. That's how I feel, like I'm in a cave sometimes. You?
Once a day. Once a day. When I go down to water the plants.
Wow. I knew exactly when I said that. I knew what you were going to say. I didn't think about it. Okay, most people don't have a cave in their house. All right. So, admittedly, we have a cave in our house. Under our house, actually. And yes, you go and you get your water there. Wow, you are so bougie. Holy cow. Bougie. We have very nice well water that you go and hand dip?
It's good.
Do you hear it when I say it out loud? Does it blow your mind?
No, I mean, I walk up those stairs daily, or almost daily, with a jug of new water. It's so much better.
You're faithful to yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's its own reward.
Yeah, and I'll walk up those stairs happily.
And even Oliver comes in with his bottle, his water bottle, and it'll have well water in it, and he'll say, "This is the good stuff. This is well water. I don't want that." All right, whatever. Even Rory, it's the same thing.
I took my inhaler earlier, so I'm all hacky and gross.
It's okay. You just have to say it's not a COVID cough.
Yes.
I actually have a mask that says not a COVID cough, and it has a weed leaf on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes us chronics got the, little bit of cough there. Okay, so I want to talk about some stuff. Joe and I are planning some resin stuff. I want to do a Mario coin, like my sobriety coin that he gave me.
Mm-hmm.
It's covered in resin. So I want to do a Mario coin for his basement, but like a big one. Like, I say big like this. But then we were talking about making a slot in the wall and putting it in there like a double-sided shelf. And that'd be so cool. But he's got other shit to do. And, me, I get sidetracked very easily. I want to get some new clients in. Oh, my God, please turn the clown around. I can't stand it. I just keep doing it. Oh, I hate it so much. Please turn the clown around. Just turn it around. Jeez Louise. Oh, gosh. I'm glad to hurry up. I'm glad I don't have to look at it. Stop. Oh, yikes. I don't know why.
One time I promise you I'm going to move and go like this, and then he's going to be turned around.
If so, you'll see it on camera. I'm just going to
waiting
have
for it.
no color left. It's going to be horrible. So I realized today that...
Sorry.
Wow, can I punch you in your throat? No, I'm teasing. I'm so teasing. I realized today that I'm not, cool anymore. I'm not relative anymore. Makes me sad. To our children's, to our teens.
Are you sure figured that out?
You shut up. I've been in denial for a little bit. I have not been faithful.
Gosh, we haven't been cool for years.
Okay, look. I have not been faithful to my true nature in years, and now I'm being faithful to my true nature, and I realize that nature has changed way too much, and old Trampa can't keep up. Oh, and there we have another one. I kind of like that sound.
Do you?
I do. It's like applause. It's like, yay, I get to be everywhere all at once. I can be with you, and I can be with Carol, and I can be with Sarah, and I can be with Donna, and oh my God, they're all women. All family. That sounds really bad, I do have Joe that watches, and Adam, hopefully, and Jill and Nate, and Chris and Mandy, and I have other people that watch. I did sound pretty hot, though, for a moment, right? I had all these women watching me. Maybe I should have just stuck with that. I got to see Toby again.
Yes.
Speaking of ladies' men. And it was exciting to see him and Andy, his dad Andy. I miss Mom Dee. I'm going to have to reconnect with her. I have clients who have left, and it's neat to see what they're doing, but, I don't want to be stalker.
Yeah.
But I just want to be invested in everyone that I've been invested in, forever and ever and ever. So one of y'all has to commit to the slow clap at my... Well, it ain't going to be you. You're going to die before I am.
Probably.
Because you don't even want to live to be 500.
No, I don't.
Why?
It's too long.
Do you have any idea how many times I could go to Disney World or Six Flags or
it's like
the mailbox?
It comes down to, what if I get bored?
How can you possibly get bored
after 500 years?
After 500 years, If you continue to evolve, you never get
Watching
bored.
everybody die around me.
So
for
what?
500
Yeah,
years,
and then you're like, hey,
it's
bitches,
so depressing.
I still got this life shit going on. How is that depressing if you outlive everyone except for your children? As long as I don't outlive
So they have to
my
live
children.
to at least 500.
Oh,
too.
at least. I expect that they'll live to be, a hot grand.
So, I'm figuring
Maybe
80
$5.99.
years. I think 80 years is a good run for me. If I make it to 80.
So that's Grandpa. Grandpa will be 80 February 24th. Holy shiza. That's old. And I want to live to be 500. I hope that, he just continues to live forever. And he will in my heart and in my mind, no matter what, he will. But, wow. He's got it going on. He's a pretty cool old dude. I say that because I know I'm just like him. So, except for, I'm a little more progressive, right?
Yes.
Definitely. I think that I am pretty faithful to myself. I'm faithful to who I believe I am. Now, is it different who I believe that I am than who I become? Same for you.
Say that again?
Is it different who I believe I am than who I become?
Sometimes.
How is it different? How can you believe that you're someone and become someone different? You lose faith.
Yeah, I was going to say, you take an alternate path. You decide not to, follow your heart or whatever.
I had to hurry and say it because I have George Michael in my head.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. So it's like, no, I got to get it out so George Michael will stop singing.
Losing faith in yourself.
Oh, stop saying it. We can't say it anymore for a minute. Okay, we got.
Faith.
Oh, you did it. You did it. So Toby's voice has really deepened, and he looks fantastic. He's got some fitness goals in mind, so we're gonna start working on that. And it's so exciting to still be part of the youth.
Yeah.
That's why I really enjoy it. That's why I enjoy coaching young folks, is because I get to live vicariously and then not feel so old. But then I find out I'm not cool anymore, huh?
Or feel old by contrast.
Yeah. And, now it's like, man, am I going to have to, get life insurance and shit now? Yes. I'm 45. I need life insurance.
Should we start taking Medicare seriously?
Oh, God, Dad left me a stack of AARP bulletins, and they are handy. They have good info in them. Oh, my gosh. I challenge you to pick up that stack of them and not find a headline and go, oh, I should read that. I challenge you.
I hate it.
So, and you know that you're excited that we got an oxygen sensor for the finger because you've got the batteries in it, you tested it out and everything. I'd already forgotten that we got one.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we got one, but...
Because Fred.
Yeah. I was like, well, I have breathing problems sometimes. Whenever I'm having an attack, I can put the thing on and see how low it'll go before
Yeah, but why?
Before I start getting dizzy.
Is there a reason you want to monitor it? Oh. So yeah, I just saw that she doesn't get to watch. So Carol doesn't get to see us, but she'll get to see us in real life soon. So and that's all that matters. But okay, so we're gonna talk serious business stuff now. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Serious business stuff. I am about to have a web series on our homepage.
Okay.
That's going to be a thing.
So, well, how's this going to work?
So, I will have basically where I'm doing lecture style my program. And if you want to take my program, you can take it and then talk to me as you're watching it. Like you can get on chat.
Okay.
And so you can download the video at your convenience. And if you're watching it and you happen to see a point or something that you want to talk about, you can go on our website and type in the chat to me or to any other member of Sacred Groves. So if you're on there watching a video lecture series for you, and Carol's on there watching a video lecture for her, and she knows you've already watched one, she may message you and say, "Hey girl, what's up? Did you see his beanie? Wasn't that cool?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, babe."
It would sound exactly like that. Hey.
Oh, groovy. Okay, yeah. And I don't know when y'all started doing this, but apparently
That's how I
is
type
you...
also.
And this far apart, like, wow, that's a big old typewriter.
Like the henpeck.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so the snow outside is melting, but it's still out there, and I hate it because it's muddy.
Yeah, we have a yard full of ice water.
Yeah, and we have 4 childrens. And 2 of them have a job.
Yeah.
So, wow. And both get an employee discount, so that's going to help them maintain a good budget. Mm-hmm. And so I'm happy about that. And hopefully they'll quit bumming money from us. Because
right.
I don't like that sort of thing.
Right.
Except for the fact that, it is our obligation. They are our children. And our children are the future. So
teach them well and let them lead the way.
Yes. It is. It's all about that music on date night, isn't it? Isn't it? It's supposed to be, date night. It's always about the serenade, right? Like you go to a restaurant and they ask if you want to be serenade. I don't know what fucking restaurant that is, but and every place I went in Texas, it was a mariachi. So, but I do like Mexican food. But on Valentine's Day, it's one of those things where typically you go out, to a spiffy place. That right there, that's why I'm not cool, because I say shit like spiffy.
Spiffy?
And britches. Spiffy. I can't believe I said that.
Why? If you're already saying britches, I mean...
Look, britches has always been
a step up.
Wow. Wow. You know what? You say dapper. So which is better?
I say it ironically.
So are you saying I didn't actually look dapper when you took that picture?
No, you did, but I just used the word ironically because it's not even. It puts
you need
me
to stop just digging that hole.
It puts me out of place.
Digging that hole.
It puts me out of place whenever I use it because it's not even. That's not a word that we. Would
I
say.
hope Sarah and Donna are hearing how you talk to their fam. I can't even say that like in honest an honest ire. That's a word. So you and I were talking about emotional depth, emotional maturity today, and what you have learned in coaching. And one of the things that you said that you learned was that vocabulary, because in coaching, especially holistic coaching, kind of that spiritual side that I do is part of that emotional maturity, where you can take a word like hate and actually recognize where the hate comes from, what the hate is. Is it regret? Is it resistant beliefs? Why do you hate? And is hate an annoyance, or is it a frustration? Or, because there's varying degrees. It's that being faithful to yourself business, because you have to identify who you actually are being so you understand it, so you can either evolve or just chill, right? If you're doing pretty well in life, don't you go, oh, I can just chill right here?
Sometimes. And that's, can lead to stagnation if you're not careful.
Okay, so describe your stagnation. Why do you say that?
We will go through like a big
Don't
hump.
vape.
of a lesson of some kind. Like
Ooh,
we
like
had
failure gives you lessons?
a really rough week of growth. When you finally get through it and you want to take a breather, and then so you're like, all right, I'm going to sit down and put my feet up for a few minutes, and then next thing it's been a year or two, and you're like, wait a minute, what have I been doing?
Yeah, I told Joe the same thing, and it got to him when he was here. So I was like,
Yeah.
in 5 years, I don't want to be sitting here doing the podcast with you. I hope we're doing bigger, better things, right? Always bigger, better. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean bigger, better things like have a TV show or anything like that. That's not what I mean. I mean evolving from who we are in that moment. So we might still be doing a podcast, but there's going to be some emotional depth to it more so than what we had, because we learn each other, we trust each other, we have creative ideas together, and I don't want us to just be doing the same thing in the same place, because that can be destructive, because you're not being faithful to yourself. Being faithful to yourself means continuing to evolve.
Yes.
That's really all it means, continuing to grow, right? If you're faithful to yourself as a human being, you will continue to learn and grow and change. Yeah?
Yes.
So what is your most recent growth marker? You think of it like a growth chart, like our kids. It's your last lesson from a failure.
Yeah. Gosh. You mean like specifically?
Yeah, specifically. Like my lesson was this podcast no more than 30 minutes ago. We struggled with getting the podcast on there because something wasn't talking to it, and I very quickly learned how to circumvent that and got
Yes.
it done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a failure that taught me a lesson in how to do it quickly. Okay, so when was your last failure that taught you a lesson that you can move forward with?
Gosh, it's like, let me weed out some through my day. I think that, as I've been kind of cleaning up our room in the last couple of days, and looking at my processes of things, I can see, yeah, I probably need to change a little bit here and a little bit there, and and even doing so that I would also be keeping my own space that much cleaner. And I don't know, so just little things like that. Whenever I see and understand that there's a better way that I can do something, then it's not so much, I guess, a failure or whatever, but it was still something to learn from.
Yeah,
Doing
yeah.
it a different way that wasn't quite as effective.
Right. But you look at the room being messy as the failure.
Yeah.
So it is the same thing. You look at, and the way you look at that is the kids, because their room's trashed, and then it's like you have to answer to that.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to bark at them, to be like, hey, you need to make sure your room is clean. If our room is messy, and I'm like,
Yeah,
well, I do this and that, and I can't find time to get in there and clean the room too, and it's like, it's just another excuse.
right. You have to find small bites, right? You have to take small bites off of it. So that's how you give it to the kids. If you yourself have a process of cleaning up the room, then you would teach that same process to the kids. So if you modify your process, you would also modify theirs.
Yeah.
Right?
And
that's all it takes.
Basically, practicing what we preach.
Yeah,
Daily maintenance.
Right.
Maintenance.
And that's the lesson, and that's what I preach, is that 15 minutes a day. You take 15 minutes a day, personal time, you take 15 minutes a day to clean your space. So at each point in time when you're caring for yourself, whether it's food, whether it's hygiene, whether it's just emotional balance or intellectual support, like doing a quiz or even playing a game. Those type things right there, 15 minutes a day for all those holistic areas, just increase. Okay, so increase 15 minutes a day of self-care, right? So that means that Um, if you're studying for an hour, take a 15-minute break, get you something to drink or get you a snack, look away from the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just 15 minutes of self care. Think of it just like sweeping the floor, doing the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And you changed that about yourself first. That was the first thing that I kind of forced you to do was, look, if you want me to stay with you forever and ever, you have to commit that you'll meditate. That you will at least, you know, sit there in the morning and think about the shit that you do throughout the day, or think about the shit that you did do. Right? You know, it's you started out with how long meditating whenever I first
I
made
think I
you
started
start
with
med-
5 minutes.
So where you would just sit with the headphones in and zone out.
Yeah, kind of go inside myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that up to, I think, about 15 minutes, as long as I would go. So I think that's as long as is necessary.
And
Usually
now,
by the 15-minute mark, I'm actually coming back out of it on my own.
and now though, starting like that, now you can do it just throughout the day without headphones, without anything. You can just meditate within yourself.
Yeah,
And that's something that's relatively new for you.
yeah, yeah. This, uh, I think it was even when I was meditating with headphones. I didn't, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this, without, you know, listening to, these certain frequencies, and making sure my back is straight and sitting in the seat and all this, that, and the other.
Do
And
you know
then
how
until
I
I
sit?
realized one day I was doing it.
Yeah, do you know how I sit whenever I meditate?
No?
Crisscross applesauce. I
Yeah,
actually
like
sit
the
there
lotus
like,
position.
well, yeah, like sort of like I am halfway right now. But I do, that's the way I do it because it feels unnatural any other way.
Yeah. If I sit in a chair with my back straight and I keep my hands kind of like this and just in my lap, I just I can sit there perfectly and not move.
That's
Just like
good.
that.
Yeah. But did you ever think that you would get there?
Um, I I figured that, I guess if I continue to put forth effort, I would eventually get somewhere.
How many times did you fail before you got there?
Oh, dozens. And there was times that I couldn't even, get into meditation at all. Just I couldn't get my mind to be quiet.
Did you tell yourself to be quiet? Did you judge yourself?
Yeah, I think as I started to get frustrated, it just got worse.
Yeah, because that's what we do. You know, our human nature says, "Oh no, we're doing something wrong. We got to judge ourselves." That's that not being true to who we are. You know, that's being unfaithful to ourselves, because we need to be more affirming, right? So, if we're being unfaithful to ourselves, we're giving ourselves excuses and we're telling ourselves lies, that go against our true value, our true natures, right? Um, I recently learned a valuable lesson in communication, and that it's a two-way street. That communication needs to happen between, all parties involved. You can talk all day long to someone or something, and they may not hear you. And it's all because of their perception. I'm talking right now, and somebody watching me is only watching my hands and not hearing anything I'm saying. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, some people are just watching my hands and not listening to the things that I'm saying.
Okay, right, because you're not watching my hands because you're actually real time, and you're used to you're used to the animation. But it's a fine balance to be able to be continuously interested in a very boring subject, right?
Yeah.
And you used to think that you were incredibly boring, so the moment I would start talking to you about you, you would shut off because you were so boring to yourself, right? You knew everything about yourself. You didn't need to know anything else, right? That's exactly how I was too. I was boring to myself. You even still think that you're boring.
Yeah, I'm a pretty low key kind of person.
Do you think
You
I'm
know,
boring?
no, no, you're more kinetic,
So what makes us
life of
different?
the party type.
Like, are we talking Chris Farley life of the party, or are we talking Christopher Walken life of the party? One is creepy weird, and one is just loud and weird. So creepy weird or loud and weird, mentally
Loud and
or
weird.
okay. So the Chris Farley, I can go with that. Um, so what makes us so drastically different in that regard?
What do you mean? How are we different? Oh, just that I'm low key and
Yeah,
you're.
yeah. Why do you think that's who we are? We've always been like this.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, even before transition, this is
Yeah.
just we've always been like this. So what makes
I
you
don't
such
know.
a prude? And I'll tell you what makes me such a frat boy.
Why does it make me a prude?
I don't know, because that's the only thing I could think of that would be opposite of frat boy.
Okay.
You used to be a prude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
A self-professed prude.
I didn't run around saying it.
Oh, you so did.
You just called me it, and I didn't disagree with you.
Okay. Anywho's, so now we're both unicorns, but I'm just saying. So really, what makes us so opposite?
I don't know. I mean, it's. I've asked that question myself a couple of times. You know, when I made the the record player analogy with you. You know, why. You know,
Do birds
we're sort of like
suddenly
polar opposites.
appear every time? What?
It's like we're polar opposites.
We really are. I mean, from our tastes in food, you like it spicy and I like it tame. Um, and you like sushi and I do not.
It's exciting food, Flavor Town.
And I am not about Flavor Town. I'm about keep it simple, sweetheart. Give me the nice, basic, raw flavors. I like, raw foods. And you like flair. I like all kinds of stuff in there. It's scary.
Does it taste like meat?
So
Good
many,
enough for me, right?
oh my
Is that-
God, so many things. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to think. So in a sense, there's those things that I'm really timid and frigid, whereas you appear to be the one that's timid and frigid, and I'm the one that struggles with OCD, so I'm not near as adventurous, but yet somehow I'm more extroverted. Why do you think that is our nature? Even though our experience is different, right?
Sorry, it's our personality types, I would figure.
There you go. Okay, so what makes a person's personality?
There's a whole thing of questions that you go through, and like I was like I can't remember if it was like
I could go the
IN
assessment test.
IN something or other. I
What?
forget what mine was. The
Oh, who cares
personality
about
thing.
your personality test? Just what makes a personality? What makes up your personality? What makes up mine? What makes a personality?
I guess your attitude, based on your experiences.
Okay, what is personality?
It says style of being.
Okay, so style of being. So what makes up style?
Preference.
Fashion is something you buy. Style is how you wear it.
Okay, then yeah.
Right? Okay. So if style is how you wear it, and style is personality, and you use the same style and personality, we were talking about emotional depth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can you make sense of that and give it even more depth and say, my personality supports this style? What style does your personality support?
Um, Being relaxed and kind of going with the flow.
Because you called yourself low key.
Yeah.
And do you remember at the beginning of this, I asked you if what I believe to be true about myself is who I will become? And you said no, not always.
Yeah, only if you're not listening to yourself.
Even if you fight listening to yourself, you feel it. We proved that. You feel disingenuous to yourself and you change your behavior.
Yeah.
So it's
Reinvent
not, it
yourself
is
constantly.
not possible. Yeah, it's not possible for you to not become what you believe you are. If you believe you are poor in whatever it is, you will remain a victim and be poor in whatever it is. That's just how it is. That's the way it works, because you're putting all your effort and energy into the poverty that you have, and you're not putting the effort and energy into the abundance that you have. So you're not seeing the good in you, you're seeing the bad in you. And instead of reaffirming yourself, you or validating, that you have some type of blessing, validating that you're a human that struggles, because struggle is the blessing. I don't know if people get that or not, but consider yourself very fortunate if you've had a lot of failure in your life, right? Because the universe deems you worthy of teaching.
It's like, it's
that's the truth.
The Dallas principle of it's not getting there, it's the journey.
Right, yeah. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And so if it's not the destination, it's the journey. Make sure that the journey doesn't have pitfalls. Set yourself up for success, right? Know that you can be your worst enemy, but be faithful to who you are. And as long as you're faithful to who you are, you're not going to be an enemy to yourself, right? You might be an enemy to others, but that's their problem, ain't it? I mean, I'm an enemy to many, I'm sure. I'm not the easiest life coach to have. Do you think I am? Do you think, whenever you come in sometimes that it would be easier to just have a therapist and not talk to me?
Well, that's the thing about a therapist is
because you did both for a while.
Yeah.
And you did each independently. You did therapy before you did coaching.
Therapy was just basically a place for me to just go and just vomit out my feelings.
Wow, you had to use the word vomit, huh?
And have somebody say, okay. and then coaching, though, it's like, okay, well, you use this word, and this word means this, so let's go back and talk about this part again, because we need to get something straight, so that you're constantly working on it. And so every day, even when I'm not, even when we're not coaching, I catch myself doing certain things, or, repeating patterns and stuff that I didn't see before. And so I'm just more aware of myself.
So it's just because I'm the jerk that pointed it out.
Yeah, it's like tough love. I might want to smack you, but it's not like you're lying to me.
Yeah, and
you're just a jerk about how you tell me.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear most common from my clients is you're right, and it's just like that. It's not just one you're right. And any client right now that's listening, you've said it more than once because you don't want it to be true, and that's what the increase in the rights and in the volume is. And even you do it. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I hate it when you're right. But it's not really me being right. It's you being right. That's what you've got to realize, because you've identified within yourself that what I say is effective.
I know that as soon as I have that,
being right.
As soon as I have that feeling of I have to make a change, as soon as I feel it, then I know it's happening.
Yeah, and that's interesting, because the moment my client says you're right, I'm like, yeah, you're right. So if they can understand that what I'm telling them is that honor's not mine. I'm not right. You are. Because you either believe it or you don't. And if you feel it touch you, then you know that you're right, not me. Just because I said it out loud doesn't make it true. But when you are humbled and you understand it and you say you're right, you are directly saying it to yourself. Because it's very similar to if you call somebody a bitch, you're calling yourself a bitch because you know what it is. You are only telling me that I'm right because you yourself are right. Make sense?
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So every single time you've looked at me and told me that I was right, if I say to you, you're right, you can actually feel it now.
So if you say, huh, I was right, are you really saying that I was right?
Yeah, that's exactly whenever you're a smart mouth, or sarcastic about it, and you're like, I was right. That's exactly what you're saying. You're saying that fool already told you, or somebody else already told you because you've been wrong about that S. Right? Is that not the truth? How do you know that you're right if you've never been proved to be right?
Yeah.
You see? So, anywho's, what else is going on in the world of Beth? The world of the McReynolds clan and Grandpa.
My Pell Grant got approved. I found that out
Woo woo.
today.
Okay,
And
cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was just a little bit ago when I checked my email.
So you get to finish school.
Yeah, it pays for the rest of the semester, and so that's my next class in my senior seminar, and it's all done.
Yay! So you'll be graduated.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go get more smarter and make money?
I will always make effort to.
You said you wanted to write my book.
Yeah. I said if you dictate.
I've got a tape recorder. We could start today because I got shits to say.
Just sit down here sometime and put on your music and just go to town.
Let me tell you a story.
And then give it to me, and then I'll take it and plug in the headphones. And
Oh no! You have to listen to it firsthand. You have to be cool like that because you have to make the faces. See, part of it's the exchange,
Okay, well, I'm not always going to be present when you have time to dictate.
Oh, whatever. I can make time to dictate to you. I'll do it.
Because I'm not going to sit here with a piece of paper writing while you're dictating. That's not happening.
Come on, I want you to go dip, 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 and then dip, 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 dip. Your feather, pin your big quill, write it on a scroll.
Take a letter.
The life and times of Trampaw Groves. Because, that's what it's going to be. So while we have 2 kids that are growing up and about to leave us, and we have Carol moving in, and we have Grandpa trying to get hitched somehow, some way. Oh, that's so wrong. Grandpa is adorable and lovable. He's just an old me.
It'll never happen because he doesn't want it to happen.
Oh, he wants it to happen.
No, he says he wants it to happen, but he really doesn't. Because if he really wanted it to happen, it already happened.
Oh, but I thought you said that he doesn't always have to become who he thinks he believes he is.
Well, I think he's being a poser.
So you're proving me right again. That if you believe you are, you will become it. So who do you believe you are today?
Who do I believe I am today?
This is going to take a while, ain't it?
Or are you asking? Now I'm going existential.
Oh my God! Okay,
No,
I believe I
I'm
am.
me. I'm just
I
me.
believe I am. No, you can't just say me.
I
You
can't
have to
too.
describe. No, you can't. It's not right, not fair, and I won't take
I'm
it. I
mother,
am
I'm
trans
taxi,
man.
I'm
There you
taxi
go.
driver, and
So today you're taxi.
yeah, I'm taxi.
Hi,
Yeah.
taxi. Can I call you Maxi Taxi? Oh, so I saw the most awesome picture of one of my favorite people, Donna. And she had on a wool cap, and I absolutely loved
She's
it.
so
She
adorable.
She is, and you said taxi, and it made me think, that's something that I would do is I would drive people across, the nation, just to hear their stories and talk to them and stuff. Like Donna, that would be cool, just to pick her up and just road trip, and just talk the whole way. Like we wouldn't be able to just leave, and we wouldn't be, distracted. We'd have to do that. It would be really cool. I would want to go somewhere warm, to the beach somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
imagine since, we live here and it's this tame winter where there's...
It's so cold. I don't even like it. Like right now, I'm cold in this room, and I kind of want the heater on, but I feel like I'm becoming dependent on it. I have my long sleeves on, and this is one of those heater keeper inners.
I think that last winter was worse than this winter.
I don't. All winters are bad. They're horrible. They're awful, and I am hairy.
It was like, because it's been like above freezing, and then it got down to below freezing, and then we got some snow for a little bit, and now it's back to above freezing.
So I have to do some trans talk for a minute. Okay?
Some what?
Trans talk for a minute.
Okay. We need to have like a thing for that.
Like
or the Batman symbol or something.
Okay, so when I first started transitioning, one of those things, I wanted a beard. I always thought I was going to have a beard, and so I was disappointed when I hit puberty and I didn't have a beard. So my family's hairy as far as facial hair goes. I mean, and so I was looking at my brother going, oh, he's got a great beard, so hopefully I'll have one. Okay, so whenever I first started testosterone, I, would watch for it and stuff. But I already kind of had a beard because I had naturally high testosterone before I started transitioning due to polycystic ovarian syndrome. So my testosterone was higher, so I had facial hair. And so basically, I just had to stop shaving and take a little bit of testosterone, and then all of a sudden became chia pet. Now, having said that, I, for like a year, was in that splotchy puberty beard, right? And so whenever I would shave, do you remember I would put the paper towel. I would put the paper towel in the sink to see any shavings, to see if there was any shavings.
Yeah, because we're looking for new growth, and
you're
excited about it.
Yeah, and so it's like a big deal. Well, Toby, I'm telling on you. Yeah, right. You're measuring your cup size. But I'm about to tell on Toby because he's very excited. He finally has butt hair. And I remember, now, true story, I remember the day that I discovered I had butt hair too. Like, I remember that day. And it happened to be in the shower. And, okay, so as a woman with long hair, you can identify with this. When I was living as a woman, I had long hair and thick long hair. And when you wash it and condition it, the hair goes down your back and into your butt crack. So when you're done showering, you have to dig the hair out of your butt crack. Agree?
Okay.
Yeah, you know that happens, so don't even try. That is one of those things. Now, I thought that that's what it was. And so I was digging the loose hair out of my butt crack from my shower and realized it was attached. That's how I found out.
Did you pull out a handful?
Oh my God. I did not pull for very long. It took like a split second to realize that was not hair falling off of my head and filtering down into my butt crack. And I challenge any woman with long hair, I challenge you to look at me in the eyeballs and tell me that does not happen to you. Right. Okay. So enough about butt cracks and hair. Now, we are going to be going in March to the springs again, that natural springs place, that haunted place.
Oh, we're doing the bath, right?
What do you mean we're doing the
mineral bath?
Yeah, that's the whole damn reason
Okay,
I'm
that's
going.
because-
And I don't take a bath but apparently once a year when we go there.
Because
It's healing waters.
I didn't see that anybody actually talked about doing the mineral bath part.
Well, I don't care what
I was
anybody
like,
else is doing. I am
doing
my
that
own
part.
genuine person, and I am faithful to that.
That part was so awesome.
So we need to book our rooms before, everybody books them all. And we're all going to go and have a good time. And I'm having a good time tonight with you and with our viewers, even though we were 12 minutes late because the thing was screwed up. We have a busy day tomorrow. It's my day off.
Yeah.
And we've got to get some things squared away for Miss Carol to get here. And I think that's all I have to say about that. Do you have anything else going on?
Oh, I think now it's just going to be a whole lot of chilling.
I need to find somebody to donate my shirts to. I have a lot of t-shirts that nobody likes because apparently I'm not cool.
You're cool. 1986.
You're a terrible person. You know that? And, yeah, I'll keep you anyway. I apparently like terrible people. That's what we were talking about, was the difference between us. I love you.
I love you too, honey.
And I enjoyed doing this tonight.
Yeah, this was fun.
I always like talking to people, though.
Gosh, has it really been 55 minutes?
Yeah. Is that
Holy
terrible?
hell. No, I was like, I thought we were here for like 25 minutes, maybe 30.
Well, we do smoke weed,
Like, well, it's
honey.
kind of short.
We do smoke weed, though.
Yeah.
Time is
Lose
one of
track
those
of time.
things.
You just kind of step outside of it for a minute, and it's somehow not a factor.
I had a lesson to talk about, which was how we learn from failure.
Yeah.
And I talked about how we learn from failure. And I also talked about how to be faithful to ourselves, because that is how we stop learning from failure. Is if we won't acknowledge that we failed, we're not being faithful to ourselves as humans, right?
Yeah, it was, like when we were talking about the transition bit earlier, and it was before I decided to transition, I looked at every other road I had traveled, and I found every failure at the end of it. And so this was the road I hadn't traveled.
And it is always the road that is least traveled that is the scariest. Why?
It's a scary road.
Why is it the scariest when it's the least traveled?
Probably because
Uncertainty.
it's the road where you have to be real with yourself.
Right.
And no one wants to be real with themselves. I don't want to be real with myself all the time.
So you gave the analogy, for you it was like you kept hitting a brick wall and there would be red X, red X, red X, and then all of a sudden there was an overlay.
It's like I kind of knew the right way, but I didn't want to do it. So I kept trying to do it my own way, and then then comes guidance, and it's like an overlay that shows the right way to go, which once you get on the path, you're like, I knew I should have been here, I just was too scared to do it.
Would you say, darling, that maybe I kick-started your heart?
Yeah. Life starts at 40.
But do you see what I did there? How funny am I that I just keep making these music puns? I'm hilarious. Do you even know why I'm making music puns?
Why are you making music puns?
Because Valentine's Day is coming up, right?
Okay.
And I'm dropping hints.
Okay. So you want to go see Motley Crue?
No! You'll
Kickstart
figure.
heart.
That wasn't the only one. That wasn't the only pun. But it's kind of like in the other guys where they're like, don't go chasing waterfalls. And it just keeps
What are you talking about?
making the music puns. Okay, honey. I love you.
I love you too.
And all the viewers, listeners, and everything. We appreciate y'all and your support, and hope that you've learned some sort of lesson, or at least been entertained. We didn't laugh near as much as Joe and I do, because Joe and I are ridiculous together. But you and I, we do aight. We do aight. All right. Well, until next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.